Well, as the weekend is coming to a close, that doesn't mean that we have to keep on stopping making some reviews for all of you. So basically, we're only going to focus on two of them. The first one is from New Japan, with, of course, Fighting Spirit Unleashed in Las Vegas. We're going to have some special matches. We have a number one contendership match. We have, of course, the Strong Women's Championship, the Strong Openweight Championship, the Strong Tag Team titles, and the Never Openweight title on the line. And of course, after that, we have Stardom with their latest show, Halloween Dark Night. Basically, there is no championship matches in case anybody asked. We do have like very interesting Halloween stuff taking place. We do have a zombie lumberjack match, a zombie rumble match, uh, trick or treat false count anywhere match, all sorts of interesting things are taking place. But also some news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, any wrestlers that either been signed or departing from their respective promotions, any injured wrestlers, the whole enchilada. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Gerard here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of reviews on various wrestling promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere where wrestling is not as big, but it is growing. And of course, we do some discussion videos, more news updates, various other cool things on this channel. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us on the subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool stuff here on this channel. If you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or leave us a nice comment down below. Now, let's begin with our very first review. And I said this is New Japan Pro Wrestling Fighting Spirit Unleashed in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is one of the fewer US shows they normally would do. Um, let's start with the pre-shows. Normally we don't do those, but we'll do it anyway. We have Buck Skinner. I don't know who he is. He faces against a guy I've seen many times on future stars of wrestling, Matt Vandegrift. Recently, he's been appearing in New Japan Academy at the showcase. Um, I did not know he was in the New Japan Academy, but yeah, it seems pretty well. I think but I didn't know how this was gonna go out, but it was Matt Vandegrift with the 450 splash, putting them away. Now, our second pre-show, we have Titus Alexander, Jacob Angus Young, and of course, Balin Aki. They take on the members of Team Filthy that consist of Danny Limelight and, of course, the West Coast Wrecking Crew, Royce Isaacs, and Jarrell Nelson. Now, this is a much lesser side that we've seen with the West Coast Wrecking Crew, but they were able to pick up the win, and that was, of course, done by a beautiful cutter by Nelson, and then to Titus Alexander, and then, of course, pinned by Royce Isaacs on this one. Now, let's begin with the main card matches. Our first one is a number one contendership for the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship in a four-way match. We have Alex Coughlin versus the former Strong Openweight Champion Fred Rosser versus Satoshi Kojima versus Jeff Cobb. Now, you can say these guys are big names. I mean, let's look at the factors here. Alex Coughlin, who is considered a beast who is determined once and for all, to go on his own since aligning himself with Bullet Club. But we do have Fred Rosser, who is a former champion. Don't forget he lost his belt thanks to the Bullet Club more consistently with Kenta. But now we have Satoshi Kojima, who is a veteran legend. He has never held that strong open weight championship before. And then there's Jeff Cobb. I'm sure he will love nothing more to bring that title back to the United Empire if Hinare doesn't succeed. That is something we could see. However, this match was so chaotic, but it was, of course, Satoshi Kojima with a strong lariat onto Fred Rosser, picking up the win. So Satoshi Kojima is, of course, the number one contender. Now, our next match, we have women's tag team action. Straight up from CMLL, we have Zeuxis and Stephanie Valkyr. They take on Johnny Robbie and Yuvia. A fantastic match, not going to lie about it. If you guys aren't familiarized with these ladies, go check them out at CMLL. They're part of the Amazonias. They're like their women's division, like kind of like the knockouts in Impact or TNA, how you want to call it, that sort of thing. But in the end, it was, of course, a backbreaker by Valkyr onto Johnny Robbie to pick up the win. However, Stephanie Valkyr called out for the mic. Now she did admit that she doesn't speak English because she speaks Spanish. Just to put this, you guys, so if you guys don't know, Stephanie Valkyr, she's not Mexican. She is a Chilean-born wrestler all the way from the country of Chile. But she did put some English effort into what she was trying to say. She calls out the current IWGP Women's Champion Mayu Iwatani. So basically, she became her is calling out saying she will be her opponent. Now, of course, it was later revealed that Mayu will defend the title at Lone Star in Garland, Texas. So most likely that's what's going to happen. But Valkyria did stated that she is a double champion, so she feels that she needs to have a third one. So we'll see what happens until then. Now, our next match, we have Gabe Kidd versus Tom Filthy Lawler. Now, of course, Tom has come back after 2 years. We haven't seen him since. But however, well, no, Tom Lawler, as you know, is trying to get himself in a conversation to get back at the strong openweight championship. But however, Gabe Kidd, he's a different story. You know that he's determined to win, cheat his way through. Not to mention he had a belt that he stole from a promotion, claiming that he is the rightful champion. But of course, he low blow Tom Lawler and then used the belt, then the pile driver, claiming that he is at the top of the mountain. Not to mention, recently he did choke out Will Ospreay at the Royal Quest 3, claiming that Will Ospreay's time is up, that he is no longer the guy who will be be representing British wrestling. So we'll see what takes place under that. Now, our next match, we have a very interesting match. We have eight man celebrating Atlantis' 40th anniversary. If you guys aren't familiarized with Atlantis, he is this luchador from CMLL. I remember he was one of my personal favorites as a kid. First time I actually saw Atlantis, he was in a championship match against Blue Panther. At the time, that was like one of my favorite matches that I enjoyed as a kid. And now seeing him, with 40 years of his career, wow, it's great. And not to mention passing the torch to his son, Atlantis Jr. That's pretty cool. But however, both he and his son, they team up with the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and of course, El Príncipe de Plata Místico. So their opponents are none other than Agent Quest, Tiger Mask, Soberano Jr., and Rocky Romero. So it's no secret on certain levels here. I know that Soberano Jr. does have some issues towards a rivalry with Atlantis Jr. Of course, Mystico and Rocky had their rivalry just recently, but of course, Rocky has his frustrations towards uh, Atlantis because of their intertwining birthdays. That's the thing. But however, that did not stop them, and you probably enjoyed great ass lucha libre style. But it was, of course, a power bomb by Atlantis onto Adrian Quest to pick up the win, just like that. Now, an interesting video package promo came out. We see somebody throwing darts at Toru Yano. Don't know who that was until we saw his face. That is none other than the bad boy Joey Janela. So yes, so it appears that he's calling out Toru Yano, and I think that's going to be interesting to see. So I'm going to presume that this match will take place at Lone Star. Now, our very first championship match is the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. High-End, who issued the challenge, faces against the champ Julia. Now, you know that this is the kind of match you don't want to miss. Now, if you guys never seen High-End before, I have seen her many times, mostly with Rev Pro. She normally made a name for herself there, but Julia, she was determined to make the New Japan Strong the number one belt that people need to pay attention to. And of course, that's exactly what she did until she applied the Northern Light Bomb. So she retained the title of that. But however, Veda Scott does make another valid point. Who will be next? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot that would take a crack, but many of us are hoping one particular person will dethrone Julia, and that is, of course, Mercedes Moné, but we just don't know when will that happen. Um, Also, on a note here, if you guys are probably asking yourselves, will Julia appear at Lone Star? Well, unfortunately, no. It was later revealed that Julia will have on that around that time during the Lone Star show in Garland, Texas. Julia will be participating for the Goddesses of for the tag league matches for 2 days. So it's going to be impossible for her to participate. Now, our next match is the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. We have Monster Sauce, consistent of Lance Archer and Alex Zane, the Sauce. They take on, of course, the newly crowned champions, God, El Fantasmo and Hikuleo. You know that these two guys really put up a hell of a match when they won those belts from the War Dogs. But however, they're facing against much better competitors, much more better. If you guys remember, it was Fantasmo that stole Alex Zane's socks when El Fantasmo was still with Bullet Club. But things have changed. But however, I have to say, Hikuleo and LP have finally picked up the momentum and the stability as a tag team until LP applied the Thunder Kiss 97 onto Alex Zane to retain the tag titles. But however, the celebration was cut very short with the attack of the West Coast Wrecking Crew. And you probably ask yourselves, why would they attack them? Simple. They're whining little kids. They are bitching, complaining because they are, of course, were the ones that put tag team on the map for New Japan Strong, but they never got the opportunity to challenge for the strong. Well, they never actually won the Strong Openweight Tag Team title. So now they call their shot, saying they're not going to wait. They want to have them at Lone Star in Garland, Texas, and they're confident enough to believe they will walk out. I'm sure LP and Hikuleo, they're not going to forget what they done, but they're going to pay for cutting their celebration short. Now, our next match is the New Japan Strong Openweight title. We have the challenger Henare versus Eddie Kingston. Now, this rivalry began during the G1. If you remember, it was, of course, Eddie Kingston who defeated Henare, I believe, during the G1, but Henare hasn't forgotten. So he went out of his way to challenge Eddie Kingston for the Strong Openweight title. So he felt that, Eddie was not well deserved. But however, Eddie has proven why he's well deserving. I mean, he fought for many years where he needed to go. And of course, Eddie Kingston was going to put up a hell of a fight. But of course, Henare will put every stop that he does in order to win the belt. However, that did not do any well until he received 2 back fists by Eddie. 1, 2, 3, it was done. However, I don't know if anybody anticipated it or knew this was going to happen during the post match. The number one contender, Satoshi Kojima, comes out. He's saying, that he loves bread and all this other stuff, but he did state that he will kick Eddie Kingston's ass at Garland, Texas. And of course, Eddie is looking forward to it. Now, our next match is a bit of a preview match that will take place later on at Wrestle Kingdom 18 on January the 4th. We have a tag team setting. We have Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito, better known as Los Ingordenables de Japón. They take on Just Five Guys, or J5G, um, Yuya Uemura, and Sanada. Now, keep in mind, Tetsuya Naito is the winner of this year's G1 Climax. He does get an opportunity against Sanada for the IWGP World Heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom. So that led it. But however, the match was incredibly good. But however, no one had the upper hand in this match. It ended with a time limit draw after 20 minutes. I'm sure many fans did not like how this rolled up, but I think it's essential because, as you know, they will face each other in January. But as soon as the match was over, we see Hiromu on his way back to the backstage until he was out of nowhere attacked by Danny Limelight from Team Filthy. If you guys remember or not, Hiromu is the current DDT Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Champion. Now, Hiromu should have known better that this was going to happen. It doesn't matter if you, there, as long as there's a ref there, someone can win it. So he has to protect that belt at any cost. Now, our main event is the never openweight title, Shingo Takagi versus Tama Tonga. Now, their match dates back. Their match is dating back all the way to, of course, the G1 and in a time limit draw. So no one had the upper hand. So when Tama actually won back the never openweight title, he decided to initiate the nomination to Shingo, which of course Shingo is no stranger to this belt. He was the double never openweight champion before. If you guys remember, he did have the never openweight title and one of the never openweight 6-man tag team titles. So he's familiarized with that. But man, that match was so intense. We could have seen a lot of gun stuns coming up. It was dodge, but it was of course the Last of the Dragon by Shingo Takagi to pick up the win to become the new never openweight champion. So wow, I had to say, pretty awesome show. I enjoyed it. So I think that's pretty much it. What we have for New Japan. I believe it's time to move on with Stardom. Okay, we have Stardom with Halloween Dark Night that took place on the 29th of this month. Now, to be fair, for our first match, I have not seen day 2 or day 3 of the Goddesses Tag League that recently took place. I'll make those as a priority to catch up for everyone. However, the one match they had here is, I think this is part of the Red Goddesses block. We have Prominence consistent of Kurumi Hiragi and Risa Sera. They take on Anakan, which is the members of God's Eye, more specifically Saki Kashima and Suri. Now, you know that Prominence will throw in a bit of the aggressiveness and, you know, how do I say, try to use enough pain to take out, um, of course, Kashima and Suri. But unfortunately, it ended with Risa Sera picking up the win onto Kashima and of course giving them the next 2 points. So at this point from that, we Prominence has about 3 points with just majority of their with just one win and a draw. Now I don't know if they participated in day 2 or day 3, but as for God's Eye, they only had 4 points, so that means they only had 2 wins. So not bad. Now, our next match is a zombie rumble match. This one features a lot of wrestlers. We did see some zombies. All three strong machines arrived. Ram Kaicho, Fukugen Death. I'm trying to remember who else was there. Oh yeah, very interesting thing that took place. We saw second generation sexy dynamite princess. Now, if you guys remember, the person who actually portrayed that character is none other than Mariah May. Now, some of you may question who took over that role. Well, apparently, someone said online that it was Hanan. Um, I don't know. I may want to think about, is there a possibility that Hanan will leave Stars and join Club Venus? I mean, look, I did talk about this before. Mina often thinks about Hanan ever since she first arrived to Stardom almost 3 years ago. So that's a possibility. But we'll talk about that. But the match itself was great, not to mention um, one of the zombies, a bit a super strong Stardom machine, but she was the one that picked up the win. I don't know if she'll turn into a zombie once she was bitten, but we'll see. Our next match is a zombie lumberjack match. We have Moonlight Venus, consistent of Waka Tsukiyama and Mina Shirakawa, aka Club Venus. They take on Zap and Matsumoto. Now, this match was set upon because of what happened a few months back. Dump Matsuda was involved in a match, but out of the blue attacked the commentators. Mina was in fact commentating. She didn't do a dang thing. But of course, I think many of us are currently disappointed that we did not see the one thing we wanted to see, which is the Bloody Angel. I felt disappointed because I would have loved to see that, but no, it did not. But unfortunately, poor Waka got missed by Dump, and then of course body pressed by her. I'm like, God. I mean, she looked more like blood was coming out of her face, but dang. But yes. And once again, Masato and Zap attacked people with the kendo sticks. But Mina did state that this is not the end. They will get their revenge. She'll get her revenge against Dump one way or the other. Our next match is a trick or treat anywhere falls count four-way match. Originally, it was supposed to be a five-way, but unfortunately, one of the participants couldn't participate. Um, Koguma, who is out due to some poor physical condition. I mean, we've been seeing that recently with a lot of the Stardom talent. Really sad, but yes. But it went with Momo Watanabe versus Suzuki versus Meisira and versus Tekla. So they were everywhere, wherever they were gonna get. But um, I did. You probably ask yourself. I know that Meisira and Zuzu are tag partners. Will they be okay? I mean, they're willing to put their friendship aside to take a win, but it was Zuzu who picked up the win with the Grandmaster Tequila onto Tekla, while May was with Momo out in the stairs, but did not win. But of course, um, May was chasing Momo with some sort of one of those air guns. Thought it was funny. Now, our next match is a Halloween weapons match four-way. We have Natsuko Tora versus Azuki versus Mai Sakurai dressed up like Darth Vader versus Sari Onoe. Now, if you guys heard what I said, yes, Mai Sakurai was dressed up as Darth Vader. Yeah, dun 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 dun. So I did not expect that. However, there was a moment where they had lightsabers, but of course, Natsuko Tora is not gonna play that kind of game. She doesn't. She thinks that if you do that, you're wasting time. That you're not a wrestler, so that sort of thing. But however, oh my god, I don't know what in the world was I don't know it was doing, but she looks like she brought like fake bugs. Sudi was who was doing commentator. Well, Saki Kashima was with her too, even though there she Sudi tossed like plastic bugs are up to her and she ran. They were everywhere. But oh my god, one thing I like about Annoy, she may be a member of the Cosmic Angels, like to try to be the baby faces, but oh my god, she is more devious than I couldn't imagine. She managed to try to handcuff Natsuko Tora with Azuki, but she tied them up in the ring. But she dealt with, of course, Mai Sakurai with the hammer, and then she tried the Temper Tundra to pick up the win. I'm like, oh man. I mean, you look at Sarano who can play both heel and face how very perfectly. Have you ever seen that? But I had to say, since it's Halloween, it worked out her way. So yeah. Now, our next match, we have Mirai versus Halloween Mask. This match happened because, of course, during a Cork and Hall event, my Mirai was attacked. Didn't know who it was, but they dubbed this person known as Halloween Mask. The match went up to 4 minutes until, of course, Mirai unmasked this person, and it turned out to be Ruka from Oedo Tai. And then, of course, the other members of Oedo Tai showed up, and Suri, who couldn't stand by what was going on, decided to help out. And this match ended in a no contest. Now, our next match is an coffin explosion four-way match. We have Mayu Iwatani taking on four crows. These people grabbed her and took her to the back. Later, each of the crows was being revealed. Crow A was revealed to be none other than you, which is kind of fitting because we all remember what happened at the showcase, the very first one. Then Crow B revealed to be Megan Bain, and then of course Crow C, Micah. So basically, it was like a numbers game type. But however, Mayu, in the other hand, ended up in the coffin. But she wasn't alone. They even had, of course, Rasi Ogawa. I don't know why Megan Bain tossed them in there. They tried to get out, but they couldn't unmatch the strength of both you and Megan Bain. And of course, kaboom! Just like that. I mean, it felt like to me like a showcase show, and I don't know if you guys felt it, but I feel like this one is a proper way for this particular day since it is Halloween. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it with all of our reviews at this point. So right now, let's move on with our lasting news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is what we are going to be updating on what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. As you know, Wrestling Revolver has announced for their LA show called Unreal. They announced many names will be participating. Among them is Ronda Rousey. However, more names have been mentioned that will participate. This show will take place in LA on the 16th of November. This is who they announced. John Moxley will be there. So is Gringo Loco, Alex Shelley, Masha Slamovich, and of course the boss himself, Sami Callihan. However, it was later revealed that Ronda Rousey and Marina Shafir will be there together as a tag team. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, Impact Wrestling, as you know, they just recently signed Leon Slater, a 19-year-old wrestler from the UK. Apparently, they signed another person too, Harley Hudson. Um, so they signed with Impact Wrestling. However, they're gonna wait until, from what I understanding, till Hard to Kill. The reason is this: they want to bring them where they can bring excitement when TNA returns. I think that's a good, smart move to do that. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, if you guys remember, recently I did reveal that Alex Hammerstone has requested his release from MLW. Apparently, they're not the only ones. We do have the members of the Samoan SWAT team, Lance Inoue, and of course, Juicy Finau. So they requested their release from MLW. Now, I don't know if they will get it, but however, hopefully they can. But we'll see what happens. Now, not too long ago, I did talk about Eddie Kingston saying that he would love to see AEW do a show in Japan. Apparently, he's not the only one. So is, of course, Konosuke Takeshita. He did stated that on his Twitter page. This is what he had to say. I have one more goal in mind. One day I would like to do AEW show in Japan. I have learned that Japanese fans are eager to watch AEW fight. Are starting running that today. So, from what is being told here is this: the Japanese wrestling fan base are well aware about AEW, and I think that's a good thing. I think AEW should go to Japan. Now, I know some of you may question where will AEW do the shows. Um, I know some of you may say, the Tokyo Dome. Eddie Kingston said he would like to do it at the Nippon Budokan, which is a good option too. So anything's a possibility, but we will see when that day happens. Now, moving on. Jersey Championship Wrestling updated for a match taking place for the Quick and Dead on the 12th of November. We have Lee Moriarty taking on Man Like the Reese. Now, GCW also announced for their See or No show on the 4th of November, Masha Slamovich will be going one on one against Gringo Loco. Now, an interesting interview with Tama Tonga about, let me put this up. As you know, Fightful did an interview with Tama about confirming the period of this year he was working without a contract with New Japan. And of course, um, he said that, that he chooses to stay with New Japan. His reasons was given that his dad taught him that the way to go about business was to have loyalty and respect to those that put them through the door. So I think they're showing their loyalty to New Japan. I think that's a good thing because uh, I did recently talked about this about Adam Copeland, also known as Edge. Some of you WWE loyalists are still pissed off, saying that you're calling him a traitor. But I did state it. Edge will always be loyal to WWE, but the real question does WWE care about the loyalty? That's the thing. I'm sure New Japan are the exact opposite of WWE, so I'm sure they'll take that to account. Now, finally, Scott Edwards has announced for the New Japan Lone Star show that takes place later on next month. Um, th- this is the card that it was announced that will take place. Of course, the never openweight title will be defended. Shingo Takagi defends it against Trent Beretta. And of course, now it's official. The IWGP Women's Championship will be on the line. Mayu Itani defends it against Stephanie Vakir. The New Japan World Television title will defend it. Zack faces against Speedball Mike Bailey. Then the Strong Openweight Championship, Eddie Kingston defends it against Satoshi Kojima. And in the Strong Tag titles, God will face the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Other match has been announced for that day. We have Mystico versus TJP, Toru Yano versus Joey Janela. However, they did announce for the schedule of John Moxley, David Finlay, Ultimo Guerrero, and Kenta. So we probably will get more information once that has been official, but we'll just go as it is. I think that's pretty much it right now, so let's just call it a day. Okay, I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Originally, I was going to actually have three shows to review for this particular episode. However, due to some circumstances that just took place here at my home, I was unable to do that. The third show I was planning to do was the latest NWA show, Samhain. Um, I'm kind of disappointed again to do that, but I'll do that on the next episode. So you can count on me on that. We do have, from my understanding, more of the Super Junior Tag League. I haven't seen day 2 or day 3 of Stardom. I'll get those as possible. I'm still behind on certain shows, but I'm debating whether to proceed them or not. But we'll see what happens until then. But for now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.